So when the pandemic began in mid-March, one of the things that quickly happened was artists started to do live shows on the internet. But the problem with that is internet penetration in Kenya is still very low and data is still very expensive. So it means this music, this uplifting music that was supposed to basically raise the people's spirits during these difficult times wasn't getting to them because of inhibition. And we thought, how can you fix this? Because in Kenya, most of the media, at least visual media, is still consumed via TV. So that was really the idea for this, but to not just make it about entertainment, because during a time like a pandemic, people just don't need entertainment. They don't just need to be serenaded, they also need hope. They need to see themselves in these stories. And so that's why we combined music, poetry, and documentaries.
I heard about Concert Nyumbani when I had a discussion with Eugene Mbugua. His intention was to pitch to me an idea. And the idea was all about this particular concert. In my mind, I had an idea, but I didn't really know how best I could be able to execute it. But when we had this discussion, it actually concluded what I had in mind and how I wanted it executed. I was looking for a concert that would entertain while at the same time send an appealing message or a compassionate message about COVID-19, while at the same time communicating something about my mandate. And that is, despite the challenge, we can still do something.
You know, since he came in, he's infused new energy into the industry, he's infused new energy to Kenyan Film Commission. And so when I came up with this concept, it was almost like a no-brainer for me. I knew there's someone I could go see about this. He gave me an appointment very quickly, and I went in for the pitch, and it was the whole team at Kenyan Film Commission, and I presented what I had in mind. I think that he interrupted me 5 minutes into a half-hour presentation, and like, he's got the idea. When do we roll?
I must say that yesterday I got an opportunity and met the CS.
Okay.
And I mentioned to him.
Yes.
He's very happy about it. There is only one thing that we agreed with him. We need to change the element of celebration. Let's replace it with the word appreciation.
Appreciation, okay. Yes. And it actually fits well, because we changed it from just frontline workers to even regular people who are doing fantastic things.
Content is king. The kind of content that you offer the viewer determines the viewership. I can confirm to you that Kenyans are yearning for good content. So mine is to urge the creatives, the writers, the storytellers, tell us the very general stories about us, and you'll have the following. Kazi nayo lazima tufanye. And you know, the beauty of what we are doing is that we are contributing towards COVID management.
Yes.
Which is adding value to what the government is doing.
Yes.
Remember, this is a covenant we are putting down.
Yes.
To host the first ever Nyumbani concert.
Yes, yes. And hopefully there'll be many more.
Exactly.
With Concert Nyumbani, I was privileged enough to be the consulting director for the Stories of Hope. So one morning, mid-morning around 10, I was home, and then I received a call from Eugene, and then he told me, there's a project I've been working on, and I knew from the word go that when it comes through, you're going to be in charge of telling the stories, because I love how you tell the stories with a lot of emotions and you let the emotions come out. So I was very happy. At first, I felt like it was such a huge role, and then when he called back, I was a bit composed and easy and ready to take up the task.
People love a good story about a helping hand, especially if it's an unlikely hero. What I had in my head was heroes that are unlikely. You know, we wanted the doctors and nurses, of course, who are the frontline workers, but you also wanted like regular people doing, I don't know if they're irregular things, but regular people doing regular things for a lot of people that are very useful.
He told me, this is a baby for me, so hold it with a lot of care. I I got into the field, made calls to different people, friends, journalists that I know, and asked for anyone who'd heard of any peaceful or nice or interesting or hopeful story in regards to the COVID. Finding these stories was epic. Eugene came in handy a lot to the contacts he had, and also Nemo as well. I remember calling my mom and she gave me one story, and I'm so grateful we managed to come up to the stories we did.
Kinarukia sasa hivyo wametusaidia sana kuhusu mambo ya COVID-19.
So one of the noticed is our biggest job today is crowd control. Not anything else, crowd control.
There was a lot of risk, but again, listening to the stories of hope, the stories of emotion, a lot of emotion. There are people who are devoted out here to help other people.
What's going on?
I'm very cold.
Kafi imefika na tuko outside Nairobi. My friend, acha nikwambie.
We had many challenges. I remember when we were coming back from Naivasha, our car heated up. I just remember seeing smoke. And it's around 6:30 and there's a curfew. So at around 12 midnight, we were still in Naivasha. But I picked something from the team. We had 2 cars. The other car was okay, but no one was ready to leave the other team. So it was very important for us to get the stories right and the images right for us to be able to get the recognition through the concert itself.
Sijazoea kuwa mbele ya kamera. Nimezoea kuwa hapo. For the documentaries, I actually thought they were quite emotional and moving. It was important for us to get the stories right because these are people who went out of their way to do something great, and it was important for us to show them in a good light.
It was really important for me that the stories of hope and the different people that go beyond their call of duty, so to speak, to help other Kenyans during this very tough time. So it was very important that that be captured and that come out in the best way possible. And I think Rango, the other editor I was working with, and I really made sure that we wrapped our brains around that and moved things around to make sure that we brought them out in the best light possible.
An extra mile is not even enough. As in, these are people who are making so much sacrifice for other humans.